Hi, I'm Jessica Drummond with CustomHormoneHealing.com. So today is our second video in the three-part video series, Getting Your Hormones Back in Balance so you can finally feel good again. And in our first video, we talked a lot about foods and strategies that you can use to feed your hormones, getting them back in balance to bring along your brain chemicals. So both your hormones and your brain start to feel calmer, and you consequently feel calmer, more focused, and wake up with energy again. So today we're going to talk about what I like to call the stress sugar roller coaster. Now, if you want to lose weight and get your hormones back in balance, you have got to step off of the stress sugar roller coaster. You see, your body was designed with two small glands that sit on top of your kidneys, right about here. And they are called your adrenal glands. They are like what I like to think of as the foundation of your hormone system. So if they are worn out by riding the stress sugar roller coaster day in and day out, stress, sugar, energy highs and lows, crashes, and we'll talk about what all this means in a moment, your hormones cannot be balanced because all of your body's resources for making nice sex hormones, things like estrogen and progesterone, which help you to feel calm, which talk to the neurotransmitters in your brain, which help you to lose weight in your belly in particular, and really in your entire body, but especially the belly. For all of those sex hormones to be at good, healthy levels, not too much, not too little, your stress hormone, cortisol, has to be at nice, healthy levels. And when it gets too high or your adrenals get so worn out, this is what you might have heard of called adrenal fatigue. Your cortisol is too high, or they're actually so worn out that your cortisol is actually too low. Then your body steals resources from making healthy sex hormones and puts them towards making more stress hormones. So here's the thing. Think about it. In nature, what's more important? Survival or sex? Survival, right? So your body is always going to choose making stress hormones, which are necessary for your survival, versus making the right levels of sex hormones that keep you focused, calm, and help you to be at the right weight. Because when you're under stress, you want to hold, your body holds on to weight. Because stress and evolution, through our thousands of years of evolution, meant things like famine, meant things like needing to run from tigers. So you've got to have some extra pounds on you, so you've got the ability, the energy stores to do that. Now our stress is nothing like that, and we have to learn to manage it so that we can keep those pounds off and keep our bodies feeling good. All right, so let's talk about the stress sugar roller coaster. When I say sugar, I actually mean blood sugar. How much sugar is hanging out in your blood? And that's kind of a tightly controlled number by your body, because if your blood sugar swings too far one way or the other, it's literally life-threatening. So your body is going to work really hard to keep that blood sugar in the right range. All right, so let's imagine you wake up, you kind of leap out of bed at 6:15, you missed your alarm again, you kind of jolt awake and you're feeling a little fried already. You haven't even gotten out of bed, you reached over your phone, your alarm is your cell phone. You pick it up and notice there's some beeping emergency emails from your boss. Oh, and you forgot that your son has soccer practice and you didn't pack his cleats the night before, yada, yada, yada. So before you even got out of bed, you're totally stressed out by your email, by what you have to do at work, and by your kids. You haven't eaten a thing. So it's 6 o'clock in the morning, your stress begins to shoot up. Your body comes in with some stress hormones, cortisol, stress buffers, stress hormones. and you begin to climb that mountain. It dumps a lot of blood sugar in your bloodstream. Climbing that mountain, sugar's going higher and higher and higher. Stress is going higher and higher and higher. You go downstairs, you only have like 5 minutes before you have to leave for work. So you grab a cup of coffee and a bagel to scarf down in the car. That coffee and that bagel, look, you might as well be eating a Snickers bar. That's like dumping a bag of sugar into your bloodstream. So you got this sugar dump. So here's the stress dump for your morning email. Then you take a sugar dump right into your bloodstream here. And that freaks out your pancreas, which sends a big burst of insulin. Yikes, there's too much blood sugar. We've got to keep that tightly controlled. So we rush in insulin sources, which plummets your blood sugar because this is a red alert for insulin. Your blood sugar plummets. So by 10 o'clock in the morning, you are already worn out and starving. Blood sugar is already low. So you reach for that Luna bar, Power bar, or maybe even actually a Snickers, or another cup of coffee. Maybe you didn't even have time to eat this. You're still on the roller coaster. All right, so it's 10 a.m. You feel that energy crash. That's packing on the pounds because your body doesn't want you to be unprepared to run from the tiger that it feels like you're already hiding from this morning. So you eat that jolt of sugar. Again, blood sugar goes up and up and up. More cortisol. More insulin to bring it back down because it's a red alert dump of sugar. Did you know that at the turn of the last century, around the year 1900, just a few years before my grandmother was born, the average American ate 16 pounds of sugar a year. So if it was your birthday, Christmas, a very special occasion, you might have a sugary treat. The average American today eats 168 pounds of sugar a year. Your body can't take that. All right, so insulin rushes in. Again, you crash back down. By lunchtime, it's now like noon. You're starving. So you go out for like Chinese takeout with your friends at the office. Oh no, a big other dump of sugar. More stress. Maybe you had a really busy, so you got sugar plus stress. Maybe you had a really stressful morning meeting. Maybe you had a really busy caseload. Maybe your kids were all having a meltdown between 6 a.m. and noon. So the combination of that sugar and that stress, again, brings you up the roller coaster. Another rush of insulin brings you down it. You see how this continues all day long? So this system was designed to protect you, literally, from running from tigers, which used to happen roughly 5-6 times a year. This is now happening to people in our society, to you, to me. Well, it's not me anymore, but it used to be, which is why my adrenals wore out. So this is now happening 5, 6, 8 times a day. No wonder by the time you're 40, you're exhausted. Your hormones are out of whack. You've packed on the pounds. We've got to get off this blood sugar roller coaster. So what do? All right, so let's get to the solution. It starts with breakfast and a morning routine. If you don't step on to the stress sugar roller coaster in the morning, the rest of your day is likely to be much smoother. And it's fine to have some little ups and downs, but we just don't want these crashes and, steep elevations in blood sugar. So the solution is breakfast. And remember in the last video, we talked about you want anytime you put things in your mouth for there to be balance. Protein, healthy fat, and fiber. So instead of coffee and a bagel, let's start with something like a quinoa porridge. Take some leftover cooked quinoa, put some almond milk on it, and some nuts. You could put some berries for a little added fiber, or flax seeds or chia seeds. Go to my Pinterest page and there are tons of delicious porridge recipes that you can enjoy. You can add fiber to that with a green smoothie. Again, check Pinterest for lots of delicious recipes. And if you're one of the people that needs even a little more protein in the morning, add some turkey or clean chicken breakfast sausage. You can make it yourself or buy it from a nice clean source. Spelling sausage wrong. So, start with a nice balanced breakfast of protein, healthy fat, and fiber. And you won't even ever get on the blood sugar roller coaster. All right, then the second thing you can do in the morning is to keep yourself from getting on the stress sugar roller coaster is to have a morning routine. Your mindset in the morning affects how you respond to stressful insults all day long. So if your email and your beeping alarm is right by your head, if you're checking your email before you even get out of bed, that is triggering a stress response immediately. What if instead you did just 5 minutes of morning meditation? And that could even be done in the shower. Let's say all you have to do to have a meditative shower is when you're washing your arm, do nothing but focusing on washing your arm. It's that simple. Think about where you are at that moment. You could use a nice smelling lavender bath oil. But when you start your day with a stressful assault instead of a calming routine, maybe you would like to take a cup of herbal tea and drink it outside for 5 minutes. These morning routines don't have to take a long time. But when you start your day with that mindset and those practices, your response to stress is so much better. Plus, you've given yourself some space and time to respond without something being an emergency. So back to our last scenario, you've got an angry email from your boss. Things weren't ready for the morning meeting. Your son forgot his soccer cleats again, or he's not ready for soccer practice today. Imagine you didn't read those emails, so you got to work. But you got to work calmer and with a little more time. You could still prep for the meeting at work. You could respond. If your boss is feeling stressed, you don't have to take that stress. If your son forgot his soccer cleats that day, maybe he has to sit out at soccer practice and he learned something from that. You don't have to freak out. He's probably not going to go to the Olympics for soccer anyway. So notice all of the times in your day that you're overreacting to things that might be other people's stress. Instead, build yourself a morning routine to set yourself up to be calm. And then instead of reacting to everyone's stress around you, instead of overreacting, build in a practice of under-reaction. You don't have to take everyone else's stress. All right, a healthy breakfast, a healthy morning stress calming routine will keep you off the blood sugar roller coaster for the rest of the day. Again, my name is Jessica Drummond from CustomHormoneHealing.com, and it was great to be with you today. See you in the next video.